Hello? Testing, testing. Am I streaming? Is this streaming? Let's see here. I think it is. All right. Let me just double check. All right, cool. I think I am live. All right, that's the first thing. Next, um, I wanted to let some people know. So I'll just drop a message in a couple of Discord channels, and then we'll see if anybody shows up. But if not, I can just use this as practice and stream testing. Let's see. Well, how's everybody doing today? I don't know if anybody is even here yet, so. Alright, cool, just me. Glorious. Let's see. How do I want to phrase this? Okay, let's see. There's one. There is two. Three. All right. Hey, how's it going, Gibson Lens? Welcome to my inaugural stream, and I am doing a tech test, and assuming that most of the tech works, I can totally show some magic as well. So hopefully you're doing well. How are you doing? So let's see. Probably the most appropriate thing for me to do is introduce myself. Hi, my name is Nam, also known as Crazy Asian. Also, you can pronounce it Crazy Asian, also acceptable. And what we've got here is I have co-opted the StreamerSonglist to be able to request magic tricks. And so I believe it's live. Actually, let me just double check. Okay, it is, and you can do exclamation point trick list TL to actually bring up, because I was able to change the command so that it would actually be TL instead of SL. The unfortunate thing is in the streamer song list I can't change the song label, so that is the unfortunate part. Now I understand that a lot of people who are new to Magic, or they might have seen a trick once, they can't actually see or understand what a trick is called. And so my other, I guess, agenda item is that if people end up seeing the same trick enough and they see the name of it, they'll be able to associate the name of the trick to it. But initially, I don't anticipate a lot of people will be able to do that. So I do have exclamation point random trick as a command. So if you don't know what to request, like if none of the names of the tricks seem really cool, or if none of the people, I did put the creator of the trick in the artist, so I thought that that was pretty cool too. So if anybody wants to just request like a random trick or something. Other commands that I created things like rolling a Dungeons and Dragons dice. So if you D20, you should be able to roll D20. Same thing with D8, D6, D4, D10, D12. And then you can also flip a coin. I think it's a flip coin or coin flip. I forget which one it was. All right, it works. Excellent. So that was like the other half of what I wanted to test. I was at least able to test this off stream, but actually seeing somebody else do it. I think it might be coin flip. Coin flip. All right, cool. Yeah, sweet. Let's see. So I guess at this rate, all we need is a trick, and if not, let me see if I think it's random trick. I hope it doesn't give me anything difficult right off the bat. Vampire card trick. Okay, so there are some tricks that I can just use a regular deck of cards for, but there are others that I can't, and this happens to be one of them. You'll probably see why by the end of the trick, but let's see. Hopefully you didn't see too much just there. I do have to figure out my angles because I do have a streaming setup, or not a stream, but a recording setup for YouTube. This is slightly different. So anyway, no big deal. But Gibson, have you ever seen the vampire card trick before, or seen a card trick like it? I'm going to assume no. This is not like that well-known card trick or anything. Okay, so what we have here is 4 cards. We've got the Ace of Hearts, the 2 of Hearts, the 3 of Hearts, and a King of Spades. Now the King of Spades here is going to act as our vampire. And basically what vampires end up doing throughout mythology and lore is that they try and suck the blood of all of their victims. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the first night, the vampire is going to try and find the first victim, and in this case it is the Ace of Hearts. And what we're going to do is just snap our fingers, and believe it or not, we've got the 2 still, the 3 still, and the vampire. But look, the ace has actually completely disappeared. I know, isn't that strange? That's so weird. Now we have the 3, the 2, and the king, which is once again our vampire. The vampire is going to go ahead and suck the blood of our second victim, denoted by the 2. And once again, the vampire goes out. The third victim's still here. The vampire's still here, but believe it or not, the 2 has completely had all of the blood sucked out of it. Now, we have one more. We've got the 3, which is going to be our third victim. And once again, our vampire is going to go ahead and do work. But look, if I go ahead and I show you, the third victim has had the blood completely sucked out. Now, the vampire knows that this is actually in modern society. So people are going to question, where are these 3 people? Where did they go? And the thing about a situation in which we have connectivity, communication, and people being able to trace back all of the situations under which people go missing, we are going to have this situation in which the vampire will know to disappear. And of course, if I go ahead and place my hand over the card, just to represent that it goes from night to day, believe it or not, the vampire knows to get out of dodge and completely disappears. Alright, and that is my handling and performance of the vampire card trick. Alright, excellent. Emotes work. Woo! So that was a good tech test as well. Alright, I was like, oh man, I don't know if that's going to work, but I've never actually managed my song list. I didn't want any of my fake counts to count, but I figured I could reset it. Let me see here. Set song is played. All right, it was played. Yeah, all right. The proof of concept works. All right. Anyway, Gibson, hopefully you enjoyed that. The one thing about using so obviously you can kind of tell why separate cards were necessary because blank cards don't actually come in a regular deck of cards. So that is all right. Let's see. Would you like to request something? I mean, you don't actually have to decide on anything. You could just randomly request something, just so that I know that if somebody else tries to do it, it's not just like me with my permissions. All right, it worked. Yeah, all right. Bluff ace assembly. All right, cool. And then, of course, as we're going through this, besides it being a tech test and me performing magic tricks, if you have any questions about like magic or me or whatever, feel free to drop and ask. I'm not sophisticated enough, i.e., I haven't been streaming long enough to have like redeems and channel points and things like that. Literally just started streaming like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. So, or not even. But let's see. Anyway, a lot of people end up having to hire a magician to have a private magic show. So this, assuming nobody else is in the chat, happens to be just for you. So thanks, Gibson Lens. Totally appreciate you being here, and also appreciate you following. You can 100% say you were within the first 10 followers of mine if I ever become big one day. So. Okay, gotcha. Excellent. That's a good thing to know because I didn't really know about that. I didn't end up doing any of that research because I'm like, oh, affiliate and partner. That seems so far away if I'm just streaming. But anyway, so this trick we are going to be teleporting aces. And now, oh, here's the interesting thing about doing magic live. If I mess up, you are totally going to be able to catch me on stuff because it's streamed live. So there's also that exciting risk reward, like, oh no, am I going to accidentally reveal the secret or whatnot. But anyway, so here, this particular trick is called an ace assembly, and the ace assembly plot in Magic is basically when we try and collect all the aces from various different positions into one place, hence the assembly. And for this, we're going to be trying to, well, first let me introduce to you all the aces. This wouldn't normally be a thing, except that as we get into more digital entertainment, there's fewer and fewer people that end up knowing like what all of the suits are. So here we've got ace of diamonds, we've got the ace of clubs, got the ace of hearts, then the ace of spades. Now a lot of these tricks will use the ace of spades as the leader ace, which is going to be the ace that actually collects all the other aces. But I'll place all the other aces out here, like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 3 other cards on each of the other piles, or on each of the piles. So let's see here. Yeah, as I'm thinking about this, I'm like, oh man, try not to mess this up. Okay, so first things first. We know that the ace of spades is here, but let me go ahead and just get like another ace down here. So watch. If I go ahead and I use these 2 hands, I'm going to touch both of them. There's this strange thing in Magic which can't be explained using electromagnetic properties or electricity or magnetism or anything like that, but there's some magical unexplainable force that sends the ace up my arm and then down my other arm. Whether you believe that or not, doesn't really matter because that ace is no longer in this pile. Because if I show you these cards, there's actually no ace here. And now if I show you, that ace has hopped down here. That's not an ace. All right, well, let me go ahead and snap my fingers and show you that that ace has hopped down here. Okay. Whew. Shh. Don't tell anybody that you saw something. Okay, next. Let's do this pile. Okay. See, it traveled up this arm and then down this other arm. Oh, and actually, let me teach you something about magic right now. If there are performances and people who are magicians, if you're on the inside, if you make a mistake and a spectator sees something that they're not supposed to see, they call that a flash. And so I've added a exclamation point flash. Feel free to use that if you end up seeing something. Most people I won't encourage to use it unless they actually know what it is, but I feel like I'm in safe company with whoever's on stream right now. So let's see. So look, we've got this ace here and these two aces here, and this other card that we knew was there. So there we go. Okay. Now look. Oh, I probably should have shown you that there were no aces here. That's probably what I should have done as well. Now, the other benefit of me performing on stream live is that I get a lot of practice with potentially real-time feedback, which is something that I was missing where I was doing practice at home. Because if you really think about it philosophically, right? If I'm doing magic here just by myself, there is no magic happening. I'm just doing a card performance. The magic happens in the mind of the spectator. So think about that, take that as you will, but that's actually what the situation is. I would not be experiencing any magic to myself. Okay, and now here, what we've got here, I do want to show you that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that the ace really is here. So the ace really is there. But now, if I go ahead, I'm now touching this pile, and now I'm going to touch this pile. Okay. And now, would you believe it, there's actually only 3 cards now in this pile. Here. And now if I show you, there's actually all 4 aces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is my handling and performance of a version of an ace assembly. Woo. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see, I know how to mark these as set from StreamerSonglist. Let me see if I remember the command. I think I kept it similar. All right, I remembered one of my aliases. That was good. Cool, excellent. All right, well, let's see. If nobody's got anything else, I'll use this time to practice, and I will request something. Yeah, I was actually, well, this is more than what I expected. Like, I expected some technical issues, but I mean, the important thing is, I think you can see the list on the screen. Emotes are working. I am streaming, and chat, and then like I put in like 20 or so custom commands. So I was thinking, all right, just as long as like half of these work, but I think most of them work. So I was happy with that. The one bad thing about having to do an impromptu magical set list is that um, a lot of magicians will have an organized show, and they will do things in a certain order, and they can set up to go from trick to trick. And since I'm not doing that, I'm basically subject to the requests. So what ends up happening is I can't necessarily plan for the next trick so well. So I have to do things like, take out the cards that are necessary for the next trick. So in this case, the Devil's Elevator. But anyway, anybody have any questions? Anybody? Oh, I do want to warn everyone and let everybody know that I am a father first, and so if my baby ends up crying or waking up, I will probably have to either pause stream or bail. But this trick will use, let me see here. Oh, it doesn't use 4 of these. If it doesn't use 5 of these, it uses 4 of these. All right, first things first. We're going to need to, where are the Magic the Gathering cards? Those happen to be right next to me over here. Gibson, would you like to see a trick using Magic the Gathering cards? I will let you know I've had ideas. If I end up getting to the point where I have redeems, it's like redeem this many channel points and do a magic trick opening a brand new booster. So if that's actually the case, let me pause. Actually, I might be able to do this trick, but just with other cards. Let me see what I can do here. Let me grab. All right, you may recognize this box if you have been in Magic for long enough. Okay, but let me grab a plains, a swamp, a forest. Oh, I have a follow. It's from Chris M. Yee. Hi, Chris. How's it going? Welcome in. And actually, let's use... I'm going to use 4 mountains for this. They're going to look different. Nope, they got to look different. Okay, so to fill anybody in, Gibson has requested that I perform a magic trick using magic cards. And I'm going to do that. We had put the Devil's Elevator into the song list via a random selection, but we'll do this instead. So, all right. And let's see, magic with magic cards. Yes, it's a search engine optimization nightmare to search for, but it is hilarious and it's going to be funny. So, I will be performing the Devil's Elevator with these cards and these cards. So, let's put these in at least alphabetical order. So, forest, island, plain, swamp, and then the devil is going to be represented by the 4 mountains. So if anybody is aware, these are the lands of magic. They are in, these are red, and then these are the other colors. But what we're going to end up doing with all of these is that, so all of the mountains here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to place all the mountains over here. And then we're going to be placing, oh man, the thing about using magic cards, we're going to place the forest here. Okay. Place the island here. Then we're going to place the plains here. And then we're going to place the swamp on top. Now, if we place the swamp into the second position, this is the second level of hell. So if we think of the cards in my hand as the levels of hell, this could be the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So if I place the swamp into the second position, And we treat this as like an elevator button. You could press the elevator button and the elevator will take you up to the surface. And so the swamp ends up here. Okay, now if we take this and place it here in the, actually prior to, let's show you what it is. It is the planes, because it's reverse alphabetical order. So if we take the planes and we place it in third position, the third level of hell, so 1, 2, 3, we push that in, we close it up, and we have somebody press the elevator button, and you have to say ding. I forgot to say the ding for this one, but it was so close to the surface. So we press the button, ding, comes up to the top, and believe it or not, the planes is actually going to travel up to the top. Now, some people believe that there were some cards that were mismatched, but let me just show you, out of the 4 cards that are here, they're all currently mountains. Now, if I go ahead and I take this and I place it in the 4th position, this should be the island, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it up. If I go ahead and I press the elevator button, ding! Believe it or not, that island is actually going to hop up to the top. And now some people think that I'm using more than 8 cards. I mean, you saw me pull out all 8 cards at the beginning. And believe it or not, that's all I'm using. If I clearly place the forest on the bottom, no sneaky moves, I'm just going to place it on the bottom, close it up. I'm going to press elevator button, ding. Believe it or not, the forest is now on the top. And I can show you that all of the mountains are fully inspectable. I mean, first of all, if I had custom-made magic cards to do sleight of hand magic, that would be super, super expensive. But yeah, these I can use borrowed lands. So, and that is my performance of the Devil's Elevator using magic cards. Thank you kindly for the claps, Gibson and Chris. So actually, I do have a trick that I was hoping to end up showing to some people who are in Rob's stream. Since both of you, have frequented Rob's stream, this would be perfect. So maybe I should just perform it now. And it's actually not on my list, but first things first, I do want to show you this deck of cards. It's not a traditional deck of cards, and since we just did magic with magic cards, that would be, so here's what the backs look like. These are not normal because these are all letters in the alphabet. So there's like most of them, there are 2 letters of most of them. There's like 3 E's and stuff. But I would like to perform something that hopefully will seem weird. It does require a little bit of setup though. So hopefully somebody can stall. Quick, somebody ask me a question. Yeah, I know. I had some trouble setting it up initially, but I basically spent like 2 weeks trying to set up the StreamerSonglist to basically do what I needed it to do, and put in like 40 something magic tricks. Let's see. I got in sleight of hand because the last 2 hobbies that I had were all tactile hobbies, and I needed something to fill this. But I would say, was it 6 years ago now? I got into doing Rubik's cubes. So I can solve a Rubik's Cube. And then a year after that, I got into lockpicking. So I basically got into lockpicking, learned how to pick a bunch of locks. I taught like 50 of my friends how to pick locks. And then that's a harder thing to sell random people on. And also it's illegal in some states to just own the tools. So it's kind of a hard thing to deal with. In that situation. And then after that, I was like, okay, I need something else. I saw a bunch, and since lockpicking was like, I was able to pick some locks. All right, what can I do and I was like, sleight of hand magic. That seems okay. All right, almost done. Sorry for the delay, but I was explaining to Gibson how tough it was to just have random requests come up and then having to set it up. Whereas like in a traditional magic show, you could have like the tricks planned out so that things will just smoothly flow. Okay, all right. Okay, I've done some setup, and now we're going to destroy it because I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the cards. Oh yeah, I could. Actually, I did have this thought the other day, and I would just, I think, not just randomly solve it, but I could just add it as a request. Maybe just put the tag like "not magic" or something into the streamer song list. I don't know how to speed cube because I only know one algorithm for solving it, but I mean I can solve it in like 2 minutes, so it's fine. Okay, between the two of you, I'm going to need like some input. So first things first, I'll just stop somewhere random. I'll make the selection fair. So let me see here. Okay, let me just go ahead and stop like here, right? Okay. And then now let me just spread these cards out, and I'm going to need like a number selected from you guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's say a number between 1 and 10. I do have a D10 bot, but you could, or a command, or you could just choose one. It's probably better. So I'll label them for you guys: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 3. All right, Chris, do you agree with 3? Okay, 3 would be this card. All right, great, excellent. So now what I'm going to do is we are going to go ahead and break up the rest of the deck into 4 separate piles, like so. They don't have to be exactly equal, but they kind of need to be like roughly equal. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something that is completely terrible for people who have like OCD or organizational kind of tendencies. And we're going to shuffle face up into face down cards. I know, it hurts me too, but these are my cards. You guys don't have to worry about it. But we're going to do it for the sake of the trick, for entertainment. Not quite for science, but so I'm going to shuffle these. I know. Okay, I'm feeling it. Okay, so now we're going to continue this. We're just going to shuffle all of these cards into these as well, and then we're just going to do this as well. So now what we have here is a jumble of cards that are shuffled face up into face down, like so. And then we're going to try and find your card. Oh, crap. I think I messed this up. This is your card, right? So your card's right here. Ha! The trick is done. I can end it as a comedy routine. No. However, it is actually going to be way more entertaining if I let you figure out what this card is. And actually, I think there's a way we can do that. Hold on. Let me go ahead and snap my fingers over the deck and just wave. Okay, and now let's have you guys tell me what your agreed upon selection was. Ready? I guess you can't really see all of the cards, but let me just pull them out one at a time that are all face up. Can you guys figure out what the selection was? I believe this is not left camera. I'm sure at this point you guys know. Do you guys know what it is? Because if you said Y, you were correct. So, call me maybe. There you go. L, call me Malby. I don't think that's how it works. So that is a variant of a trick. There's a trick called Triumph, in which one card is lost, and then at the end, it is shown to be the only card that is face up in a face down deck. But after you've tried to shuffle face up cards into face down cards, and this one is somebody's clever variant, and I only adapted it to basically use this deck that uses letters. You can do it with a regular deck of cards, but oh, okay. I don't know how to enable clips, or I don't know if that's something, but if I can, I'll at least have access to the VOD. So if you want, I can clip this for you. If send me like a message in like Rob's channel or something, because I don't have my own Discord or anything, or Gibson Lens's channel. At least he's here, so it won't be completely random to him. Thanks. But yeah, I was like, oh man, I got to try this magic thing, and I'm like, on stream. And it's like, all right, this is great. So actually, let me double check if I did have that on my streamer's song list, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Triumph. Nope, I do not. Okay, so yeah, you guys got to see something off book. And I had thought about that trick, and I'm like, oh man, if I ever have to show people from Rob's stream anything, that's one of the ones I'm going to show. So, let's see. Actually, do you guys like the interactivity? I can do a couple more that will require your interactivity if you want to make decisions, or be bothered by the fact that the decisions are going to be like, oh man, what if I chose the other one, right? So. Actually, this one will be a good one because if there's a couple people in the chat, so in this case, if Chris and Gibson, you both want to make a choice, each one of you can make one choice, and this will be perfect. Okay, all right. So this does require two decks of cards because there's some red-backed cards and some blue-backed cards. They don't normally come mixed in the same deck, but actually, oh wait, I can actually request this. So let me see here, just for purposes of keeping track. I also wanted to see the statistics, so that if people end up requesting like the same tricks over and over again, then okay, sweet. That way I can either like eliminate or like get rid of the ones that people never request or aren't as popular. Or, oh man, I know that one's hot, so I should always be up in practice on that one. So anyway, we've got two piles of 4 cards. So what we have here is the red pile of 4 cards, and then the blue pile of 4 cards. Okay, I'll let you know that they're all kings, but I need each of you to select a king, but they need to be absolutely different. So actually, maybe the way to guarantee that, so since I'm seeing Gibson Lens's name as red, so Gibson, why don't you choose a red suit? So it's either the hearts or the diamonds. And then Chris, that will leave you with the black suits. So go ahead and choose either clubs or spades. And at this point, both piles will be in full view of the camera. So you guys can go ahead and make your selections. Okay, so spades and hearts. So just a moment ago, you saw me show you the backs of all 4 cards. I'm going to go ahead and snap my fingers over each pile. Now, would you believe that I have gone ahead and turned up the King of Spades in one pile and the King of Hearts in the other pile? Because, look, watch, just one finger. So, if I believe correctly, we're going to turn up the hearts here. And now over here, one finger, spades. Right? I know. Chris MU is like, what the? And now, here's the thing. The trick isn't over. So there's actually a little bit more to this trick. Not only did I flip these kings over, but, let me just tell you. Would you believe that I also swapped these two kings from the other pile? So initially you guys saw that this was the red pile, and then you also saw that this is the blue pile. But would you believe that this king of hearts is actually a red-backed king of hearts, and that this king of spades is actually a blue-backed king of spades? Would you believe that? I should probably also have a thing where if people are reacting to me for the first time, like, have genuine reactions in the chat, guys, please, and that way new people will know. Don't be shy. But wait, there's more. Actually, if you guys are aware of like Ron Popeil and old infomercials from like 20 years ago, that's actually not the end of the trick. Because believe it or not, you guys had the choice of a king, and I flipped them over and I swapped them. But actually, believe it or not, if you do the math, there would have only been a very, very small percentage, like 12.5%, in order for you to get this absolutely correctly. But actually, I knew 100% that you guys were going to choose these cards. Do you want to know why? Because these other cards, I may have fibbed a little bit. I did say that they were all kings. I lied. These cards actually don't have anything else on them. You could have only chosen what you have chosen. And that is my performance of trading kings. Excuse me, says Chris M. You're excused. I'll allow it. I know, right? I'm such a liar. That is all you could have chosen. All right, try not to lose too much sleep over that one. Okay, gotta make sure I'm off camera. All right, perfect. All right, thanks for the claps, Chris and Gibson. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was definitely thrilling for me. I have only shown that to a handful of people, and it's not as epic. I think usually when I perform it, I'm like, haha, haha, and I do the 1, 2, 3 punch right away. But this was the first time where I actually slowed it down, and I was like, okay, here's the first punch. All right, absorb that. Here's the second punch. Absorb that. All right, now for the uppercut. Here we go. Boom. Gotcha that time. Excellent, excellent. Let's see, if there's anybody else in the chat that is lurking, feel free to use the streamer song list to request any tricks. And if you don't know how to request anything, you can do !how. I basically co-opted the streamer song list to be able to allow viewers to request magic tricks. And actually, I also changed the command, so it's not SL, it's TL for trick list. So feel free to do that. And then also, if you're not familiar with a lot of trick names, one of the things I wanted to do was have people start remembering tricks and their names, because sometimes when you see a card trick, it's kind of tough to to know what it's called if the magician never reveals what it is. So doing something like this, I thought, would get a lot of people to start seeing and knowing what the tricks are. I put the trick creators into the artist, it is somewhat nebulous. So if I ever get a magician on stream that actually knows more magic history than me, please tell me and I will correct it. So, but that was Trading Kings, but it is not normally called Trading Kings. If you look up John Bannon, the guy who created it, he actually created a trick called Twisted Sisters, and that is a marketed effect, but there's a similar one that basically is the same principle. It just uses, so the Twisted Sisters uses queens, and the Trading Kings uses kings. So that's the only difference. Revolver. Revolver. All right. Okay. So long story short, I wasn't entirely sure what to put onto stream, into my streamer song list, but I grabbed a few where I was like, these would play out well. And this one I'm not very well practiced in, so this is actually going to be very interesting. As I was telling Gibson earlier, the risk is high. If I mess up on stream, I'm going to mess up. So you may discover how some of these are done, throughout like the evenings if I end up messing up doing a trick or whatnot. So, okay. So you've requested the trick Revolver, and we're going to be using these 4 cards to kind of represent how each one of these cards can be like a bullet that is shot out of a revolver. Normally, a 6-shooter would have 6 bullets, but in this case, we're just going to have 4. So we have the Ace of Spades, 2 of Spades, the 3 of Spades, and the 4 of Spades. Now, the thing with this is that we want to shoot the ace first, because that's like the first bullet. So let's go ahead and shoot the first bullet. And if I snap my fingers, believe it or not, that's actually going to go ahead and turn the ace face down. And now if I go ahead and I snap my fingers, we now want to shoot the second bullet, which is actually going to go ahead and you'll see that the ace has turned itself face back up, but now the 2 is face down. And now we're going to shoot the third bullet. Snap my fingers. The third bullet has been shot. And now finally, the fourth bullet is going to be shot. And now you're probably thinking, oh, that's weird because, I just saw the 4 face up a second ago. But look, if I just turn this up, that is indeed the 4. So what we have here is, ace, 2, 3, right? But the one thing that you may not have noticed is that, believe it or not, you may have believed that all of the cards had a blue back in this case. But if I show you, they actually had a red back, including R4. And that is my handling and performance of Revolver. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for the claps, Gibson and Chris. Chris says, "Dang!" No, I think you got it wrong. It's actually bang. That's the sound that a revolver makes. As for the explanation on dad jokes, I am a legitimate dad, so I can make all the dad jokes I want. You're welcome. Oh, dad joke. Oh man, okay. I gotta note some of these things down. All right. Should I have a dad joke counter? Right. So I don't know how long I was going to stream, but my baby seems to be sleeping, so I should probably just take this opportunity to just continue, just go as long as I can. Um, for this trick list, Chris asks, so for this trick list, did you take the ones that you liked of the 100 that I've done? So, full disclosure, I have obviously done more than 100. Yes, yep, correct assessment. Um, but yeah, if anybody doesn't know, I had a very aggressive project for myself to do in Sleight of Hand Magic earlier this year, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, but I ended up doing it anyway. So it was to perform, record, and upload 100 magic tricks in 100 real-time days. So that was from January 2nd or January 1st until like April 10th or something. Um, and yeah, so if you go to my YouTube channel, which I think I have a command for that, you can go ahead and find all 100 tricks that I did for that project up. Ever since the project concluded, I did put out one trick a week, which is way more manageable, a schedule. But for me now, for the tricks that I chose here, I chose a subset of those tricks that I knew that I knew how to do very well, and I didn't want like any of these tricks necessarily to come up and it would be utterly horrible. So I'm like, okay, let me just choose some that I think I could always do. And full disclosure, actually, Gibson, if you're still here, when I performed the Ace Assembly trick for Gibson earlier, I did mess up, but it wasn't just something that he saw. I actually messed up more than that, but I knew the trick well enough that I was still able to adapt, and hopefully it still looked okay, Gibson. If if you can give me some, hey, it still looked good, or oh no, I totally know how the whole thing was done now. Um, but I think I was able to recover, and I was able to proceed with the trick, and it was fine. The other thing was I did try and choose a mix. I wanted some tricks that were interactive, which you guys have already gotten a chance to experience a couple of things, and then I also chose some tricks that were not as interactive. And my thought process here is that I can slowly add tricks to it. I think whatever I'm working on or I happen to practice like within the week or something, I can add that as a new trick to the list. So either over time it's going to expand and I'll know how to do all of them, or I may have to like cut some out because I'm like, oh, I haven't done that in a while. I don't even like doing it, so I'll take it out. Um, but I was like, well, if there was only like 10 or 12 tricks, I'm like, there's no way I could do like a continuous stream. But I think we've been going for an hour, and I don't know how many tricks I've done, but there's still plenty of tricks for everybody to request that haven't been seen. And then of course there's the fact that some people will come in late, some people um, will leave. Oh, Invisible Deck was the next one that was requested at random. All right, let me just double check and make sure I'm equipped for that, because if I'm not, we cannot do it. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do it. All right. Yeah, that was my thought process. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, I have a deck of cards here. I will need a volunteer. So whomever would like to volunteer, I'm going to need to borrow you for this trick. Don't let all of your hands go up at once. Oh yeah, and you got the bonus trick too. I will let you know that if I end up not being able to clip that, I will just re-perform it for you guys on another stream. And especially since only a few of you guys are here, if I end up ever getting like a big chunk of the Rob Kovacs crew here, I would love to do that one on stream with most of the Rob Kovacs crew. So Okay, Chris has volunteered. Oh, what am I doing? You guys have been in chat. Let me actually also. I added shout out, so let me see if this works. Do I shout out at and then, or do I just shout out? Okay. Oh, okay, that works. And then, so everybody, if you are not already following Gibson Lens, he is a fantastic piano player, and I go and bother him and like request all the things that he hasn't played in a while. So, and then Chris M. Yee, shout out. And Chris M. Yee has a show on Twitch, or is it? It's on Twitch, yeah, and it's the Clip M. Yee Show. Is that right? Do I have this correct? Okay, it should work with or without the ad. Great, thank you. That is like this is the stupid stuff that I need to know. So, but anyway, yeah. First of all, thanks you guys for being here, and definitely appreciate you showing up to my first stream, and B helping me out with all the tech questions. So, all right, Chris, if I may call you that. I assume that's your first name. I don't know if your name was like Barry. I don't know why you'd say, "Oh, my name's Chris M. Yee." But okay, so Chris, I need you to select one of the standard 52 playing cards. But actually, don't tell me what it is. Think of it. Let me know once you have it in your mind. Okay, great. I hope the clip works too. And actually, if I guess if it gets on your show, that means more exposure, right? So, so it is in my best interest to also get you that clip. No, don't tell me yet. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to take the deck. I'm going to hand it to you, but not the actual deck. I'm going to hand you the spirit of the deck. The deck is not visible, but go ahead and grab it through the internet pipes. Take the deck. Okay, you have the deck. Take out all of the cards. You don't have to respond in chat. I'll just trust that you're doing this. Take out all of the cards, and then find your card in this now invisible deck that is in front of you. And then what I want you to do is turn your selection in the opposite direction. So all of the cards are facing the same direction except for your one card selected. Okay, now go ahead and hand that back to me, the soul, the invisible deck soul of this deck that's sitting right here, through the internet pipes. Okay, I've got it. And now I'm going to drop it back into the box. Okay, Chris, the box has been sitting here the whole time. The spirit of the box did travel over to you and come back out. You are now free, and I will not remove the deck from the camera, so you'll see this the entire time. All right. What was the card that you have flipped over? And it's okay to tell me now. I should probably have some background music. The Two of Spades. The Two of Spades. Now, out of all of the cards that you could have chosen, you chose the Two of Spades. Okay. So what we're going to need to do is I'm going to slowly pull out the deck. Okay. And then we're going to slowly fan through. And believe it or not, there's actually only one card that is facing in the opposite direction. Now, you could have chosen any one of these cards. You chose the 2 of spades. How freaked out are you going to be if this is your turned around 2 of spades? Because if I go ahead and I show you, it is indeed the 2 of spades. Fairly freaked out, Chris says. All right, and that is my handling and performance of the Invisible Deck with our guest, Chris M. Yee. All right, that one's a little bit crazy. Usually sometimes use that one as a closer to close it out. But I've told myself I don't need to close with it, but I'll probably only do it once per stream. So, but anyway, thank you for the claps. And Gibson's got like the Gibson scream, ah! I assume that that's what that sounds like. I can't be 100% sure. I actually don't know if I would ever want emotes to have sound, because sometimes it would just be like a rave party, and probably wouldn't be a sweet rave party. So, all right, let's see. For anybody that happens to be lurking, hi, my name is Nam. I am a magic enthusiast. I've been doing sleight of hand card magic since 2019. And I know it doesn't seem like that long ago, but we had a pandemic, so a lot of extra practice time. But I've never streamed before. This is literally my first stream. Hopefully I'm doing okay, guys. But feel free to go ahead and make any requests in my magic trick list. So if you do !TL, that should bring up the trick list, which is actually in StreamerSonglist, but I co-opted that to basically have tricks to show. And feel free to request something. So I imagine that requests will always be free, but if I ever become monetized one day, or like become affiliate or partner, if priority requests are too numerous, like I see on some music streams. But for the time being, I'm just hanging out and having fun. And I actually wanted to do this more as a proof of concept, because Twitch actually portrays video gamers and musicians, and I'm like, well, there's so many more things that you can do performing arts-wise than just magic, than just music. And the thing is, you can go and get a degree in music. You cannot go to any reputable university and get a degree in magic. So I am slightly bothered by that. There is a magic tricks category, but I think you're only actually performing tricks. Oh, is there? So I wasn't sure what to choose as the category. So I chose just chatting, and because I saw that Magic Tricks was actually a video game called Magic Tricks. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if nobody knows what to request, you can feel free to use the random command, and that will go ahead and automatically add one to the list. Yeah, I did look at that, Gibson. Thank you for letting me know and telling me that. And I was like, maybe I should just do that. Or maybe I should just troll and just say Magic the Gathering and then just do regular magic tricks. And be like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's doing magic tricks under Magic the Gathering. Wait, this trick is cool. Like, I'd get a lot more random foot traffic, I think. But I don't know. I'd like to be honest about that. I know that's weird coming from, like, a magician whose job is basically to be dishonest about the performance, but you can arguably say that all magicians are in one of the most honest professions in the world, because when you're entertained by a magician, you're basically signing up to be lied to. So at least you know what's going on. And then at the end of the day, it's not like you're going to be, food poisoned, or you're not going to have, um, embezzling happen, or people are going to get taken advantage of. But it counts if I use magic cards. All right, guys. So this is actually one of the tricks that, so in my mind, I have already set aside a couple of tricks that I would be willing to teach people. This is actually one of those tricks, because honestly, if you have seen this trick before, you may have already seen it, like at school when you were like in elementary or middle school. And but I've kind of tweaked this a little bit for performance. And so first things first, we have a deck. We can have a selection. It doesn't actually matter what it is, but let me go ahead and just pull it out. Now this is going to be important that you guys know what it is, and I'm not going to know what it is, so I'm going to close my eyes and turn away. And I'm going to bring it up to the camera. I will assume that this is enough time. Hopefully you guys have the card by now. Turning it back down. And what we're going to do is we're going to place this card into the middle of the deck. All right, before I push it in, you guys have it. You guys know what the card is? Somebody does? Okay, all right, somebody's got it. All right. Thank you, Chris, for the confirmation. And Gibson, thank you for the confirmation. So, okay, all right. Here's the thing. What we've got here is we are going to put the deck now into this card box. Now, in order for you to believe that there's nothing suspicious about the card box, there's no cards inside of it. Okay, it is empty. I'm going to place it into the box, and I'm going to close it. Okay, now once again, and I'm adapting this a little bit for internet, I'm going to go ahead and hand the spirit of the box through the internet pipes. One of you guys who saw the card, take it, and then tell the spirit of the box what your card was. Alright, I'm going to take it back now. Excellent. And I'm going to place the spirit of the box back into the box itself. There we are. And the best thing about this trick compared to like the last trick, you don't even have to tell me what the card is, because the deck knows. The box knows how to do this trick. I don't have to teach it anything. It's already aware. It's already done. It's already got your card, I bet you. Right? Right, deck? Right? You got this. And so now if I take out the deck and I fan out the deck, there's actually one card that is turned in the opposite direction. So I guess this is the way that the deck was going to tell me that it was going to do the trick. So I'm going to assume that the deck does it correctly. If it does it incorrectly, I mean, it wasn't me. It was the box. So hopefully your card was indeed the 5 of hearts. And if that was, box, here, why don't you stand for a bow? Take a bow, box. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The box is humbled. Yep. Box, you're getting a little greedy. You are totally bowing way too many times. But come on, man. Look, don't you get enough attention? It's okay. I love you. It's okay. So, yeah, that is the inverted card trick. Here, I'll show you guys a quick one. Now, it's with the same 5 of hearts, and this might be a little bit of a secret because the box may know that wild cards are used for the trick, and so it knows that it's a joker, and it can just change it to whatever card is the correct card every time. So. Chris MU's like, what? Oh no, is buffering for you too. Okay, so unfortunately my location in my house is tough. But all right. Hopefully the stream got it or whatnot. But there was a little bit that I did with the bowing box, so I was like, oh, take a bow. Okay. And I don't know if I have the best Wi-Fi connection in my house. But anyway, so what the box ended up doing was, what the box ended up doing was seeing a joker and was like, oh, okay, I could just make it whatever card was selected, and so just changed it to the correct card. All right. That quick card change is called the snap change. And that is one of the other tricks that I end up teaching as well. Because between those two tricks, it's something that somebody can use, and then something that shows to new people who would be interested in performing magic how much effort it would take to perform, a Sleight, for example. All right. Well, I've been streaming for, I don't know, an hour and 20 minutes. We got a lot of tricks in. I tested basically all the technical stuff I wanted to test. So I think for a first stream, that's pretty good. I hope everybody's okay with me just ending now. But so as I mentioned earlier, I am a father. I'm a father first, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to have a regular stream. But I will say that I'll try and hop on for like 1 to 2 hours at some point, just when I can. And so probably the best way, if anybody's interested to keep in touch with me, just go ahead and hit the follow button and just keep an eye out. That's probably the best thing. So I also have to figure out how to raid, and let me see if I know if I can figure out how to raid. I think it's just /raid. Is this correct? Can somebody confirm? And so my idea is I'm probably going to try and just raid all of the streamers that I go and hang out with first, and a large majority of them are all music streamers, so mostly piano players, guitar players, people who play flute, violin. So hopefully that's okay. And then after that, maybe I'll come up with a raid strategy if people end up raiding me at some point after that. But for today, let's hit somebody up. So let's see. Who do I... okay. All right, I have a target. Hopefully you guys are okay with Sonata G Major. Let me see if... okay, shouting out. So now let me try my first raid, everybody. See if I can do this. A raid has been created. All right. And let's see. Oh, wait. I have a raid call. I made one. All right. Copy that. I have no emotes of my own. People can't subscribe to me yet. That's what I got. So let me make sure I copied it. All right, good. This would be sucky if I didn't. All right. Thanks for joining in, and hope to see you guys next time. All right. Have a glorious day. See ya.
I'm gonna literally just gonna follow you right now because I don't think I follow you. I think maybe I do. What did you stream, bro? Guys.
Follows me.
Yo, this is
Stream ever. Test stream. Formed.
What did you do today?
Hand magic.
What are you gonna stream more?
Using
Change one and use the
streamer.
dry ink. I think I have a backup mouse.
Viewers.
not like his. Cause this one, look at this. This is my mouse. It's like all like little buttons and stuff.
Thank you.
So it's nice. I perform Sleight hand magic. Oh, magic! Yo, let's go. Let's go. Using StreamerSonglist to let viewers request magic tricks. Yo, that is genius.
That is.
If you guys wanna go see some magic tricks, go follow this guy. And I've seen them; they're amazing. He has on YouTube, guys. He made like 100 days of like um of like magic. Sorry, guys. Okay. Also, thank you so much for the hype train as well. I appreciate it. Level 2, thank you guys. I got you with some John Bonamassa. Yo, this is Joe Bonamassa ink. That's like blues as well. The boy plays, so it's gonna be loud in a bit. I'll play that. Alright. After assassin. Not sure how the official requesting. No, you do exclamation point SR and then the name of the song in the chat and code wings. But that is to see how many buttons you have on the mouse.
I'm requesting.
I honestly use 10 of them actually. It saves a lot of like time when I do like editings or when I work in production stuff. It saves a lot of time. So. Tom Thomas Tunes, welcome in. How's it going? Welcome in. Are you a streamer as well? Your name is Streamer. Well, welcome in. I got you. Yes. All right. Let's play some Assassin, and then we're gonna play some Joe Bonamassa, and some Smooth as well. Okay. We're gonna play some Smooth for Raiders. Let me play Assassin first, if that's okay with you, Craze. I don't know if you're
sure that's fine.
or anything, but we're gonna play some Assassin, some Smooth, some Blues.
Sure,
We have
that's
a lot of jams in there.
problem.
Oh, wait, what? Why did you change it? Yo, there's been like 3 people that have been changing their usernames, and they're like, they talk to me like, yo, Sonata, and I'm like, wait, like, I need to ask you. And then you guys change your usernames and expected me to know it without you telling me. You gotta tell me, y'all. Welcome in, Tom. It's good to see you, bro. I haven't seen him forever. It's a rebrand. If you guys don't know Tom, he's a great producer as well. Like, he's a great musician, but he's a great, like, you have it all, bro. And I see you uploading videos on Instagram and everything. And, like, keep going, dude, because